Oh, good morning. Funny seeing you here
top
on
of the morning to you.
show. I like it when we do the accents. Now that's good. Keep going.
Oh, yeah, but is it a 19-hour show where you have to pack
there
a
you
lunch
go.
to see Hugh Jackman and, you know,
Did I tell you I'm doing a new thing now?
No, what's the
New
thing?
challenge? Because I'm a little chatty Cathy. I'm not, anyone that has an accent, I'm not going to ask them where they're from anymore. If they speak English, I understand what they're saying. Because they must get it all the time. But I'm very interested. Where are you from? That's
Sure,
cool,
sure.
you know? Is it German? No, Romanian. Gorgeous Romania. Or if I've been one of their places. Oh, I went to Berlin. How awesome. And they're just kind of like, whatever.
Just a little patronizing.
I'm just you know, treat them like normal
You from
Americans.
Alabama? Is that where that's from?
Oh, I don't mess with that. No,
Roll
nothing,
Tide.
nothing American.
Graham, if you're watching.
Are you from Buckeye?
I'm not.
How's that pronounced?
Buckeye?
Close by.
Yeah, I believe it's Buckeye.
Thank you so much.
Straight
These guys
into
always take
pocket
care.
square.
I feel like Ringo. You know, I get by with a little help from my friends.
Good morning. Did we say that already?
try.
Top of the morning.
Love
Paul,
the
Rachel,
dream.
Jimmy, Vanessa, guiding you through the chaos this morning. We do
Yes.
have a topic we want to get to. It's trending on Twitter right now. What's the one piece of advice your parents gave you that you still hold dear to this day? Is there something that mom and pops bestowed upon you that you still think about in your times of trouble? Ringo?
Yeah.
Mother Mary comes to me speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. No.
You know what? My parents were really good parents. They wrote us really hard, and so I could give you like 50 of them, but one of them that comes to mind is I asked my dad once. I said, "Man, how'd you do it?" And I said, "You came to this country. You're an immigrant, a student." He doesn't say immigrant. He came as a student, and then he did the visa and applied and everything. I said, "But how'd you make it? It was so tough in the 50s. You were Hispanic. There was no affirmative action. There was no nothing." And he said, "Son, math is the great equalizer." He became an engineer. So what he challenged us to do is he says, you have to find your great equalizer. What is it in this world? Because there's something that you do that's good and that you like, and that will bring the playing field down to your level.
Sure.
If you're not good at math.
That's really good advice. I thought you were going to say something ridiculous.
No.
Bravo to you. for being
I didn't
sincere.
know what you were going to say,
Math
but I think
is a
that's
great equalizer. You take away math, you fill in what yours is.
What about you
That's
guys?
interesting.
I'd say my parents taught me great work ethic. I mean, I work multiple jobs, and my dad did too, and my mom as well. So they worked my whole life, you know, both of them, and they were just like, "Look, you got to work hard for what you want." And I was like, "Okay."
And you
know?
do. I can
Yeah.
attest. You don't need, I'll speak for you.
I mean, my first job was at 15. You know, I'm an
Yes.
only child, and you know, I got some of the only child perks. But at the same time, they were like, "Look, if you want a brand new car, then you need to work to pay for your insurance. You need to work to pay for your gas."
Sure,
you know?
some part of it.
Yeah. So it's like they taught me how to work hard, and it still sticks with me today. And everybody gives me the biggest compliment. They're like, "You're just like your father. You work so hard, and you know, to get what you want in life."
And what a compliment to be just like your hardworking parents. I mean, I do love that. Work ethic was definitely a good one, and it was kind of the following the phrase, you know, attitude is everything. If you have a good attitude, regardless of the circumstance, you know, you're going to find that you enjoy it that much more.
Yeah.
Looking for the silver lining versus, you know, feeling like you're having to deal with something or go through something. Or
What I like about, and that goes for us, is we work, but we work it whenever the time says we're going to work.
Yeah.
You get it. You know, the biggest peeve I have is when people say, "Oh, what time do you wake up? Oh, how do you do that?"
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I got bills, buddy. You know, I'd love to work 9 to 5. That'd be great.
But it's expensive.
I'd love to sleep in and do all that stuff.
Sure.
But this is what I get, and so I make the best of it, and I work hard, and I respect you because you do double. You do the back side and the front side.
Oh,
so
that's crazy.
you know,
Paul,
but that's it.
words of wisdom?
Yeah, Paul.
I was raised by wolves, actually.
Mowgli, get out.
No, we were a golden rule kind of family, which is a sentiment that's being echoed in the comment section. Sam says
here.
the same thing. Treat other people the way you want to be treated.
That's a great one.
You know, I struggle to pull advice from my parents now in my 30s, like I did when I was a kid. But my dad said something to me relatively recently that kind of stuck with me, where he said, "Don't be afraid of life. Like, don't be afraid." I'm an overthinker, I think, at times, and I want to make the right decision and not rush into something, whether it's purchasing a car or getting a puppy or moving or whatever.
Those are things you probably should overthink.
Those are big thinking
Those are big
decisions, too.
decisions.
Getting a
Coming
wife.
from a dada.
Fear can be paralyzing, though, and you end up not making decisions, or you end up being afraid that, well, what if I make this decision today and a better option comes around tomorrow? That's not the way that life works. And so I would say the more recent sage advice that I received was don't be afraid of life. Kind of lean into it. Lean into the corners. You know?
100%, definitely on the dog thing. I know all parents will say that it's not a good idea, but I wish that, looking back, that I would have gotten a dog and in 2012 when I first moved away, because in this business, you move to a smaller town, you don't know anybody. It would have been a great time to have a dog, and it would have taught me even more responsibility.
Yeah.
Moving away from home. So yeah, it's funny because there's never a good time to have a dog or get married or have kids or do any of those things. So yeah, to not be scared would be really something to embrace.
These don't all have to be serious, by the way. My grandma used to tell me, always wear clean underwear in case you're ever in an accident.
Oh, they got to cut your jeans
You don't
out.
want them to take your undies off and you got streaks in the back. You're going to
You know
embarrass the
what?
family.
Darlene,
Yeah.
sound advice.
Oh my God.
Coming in the clutch.
Not that I didn't want to wear clean underwear in the first place,
Right.
but that's extra incentive.
But that's you're right. These don't all have to be some sort of like sacred family secrets. They can be, easy things like smile at a stranger. That's good advice. You never know who's having a bad day. It's nice.
David said, no matter the outcome, always be truthful.
Yep.
Christina recommends being humble and smiling because you never know who needs a cheer up.
There you go.
But when you smile, you can cheer up the world.
Gunnison said, always have a backup plan. That's what her.
Oh, backup plan's good. I have plans like A through F just in case you don't know what's going to happen. And I always have an emergency fund. That's what my parents have always said.
That's a smart move, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you never know whether you rent or you own or whatever the case is. You don't know what's going to happen.
See, everything you guys are saying is what I heard. So I'm like, yeah, they said that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think there's a
That's
book
great,
that parents
yeah.
get.
Yeah.
The stork drops the kid off. It brings this book full of adages and parables, and then you just memorize it and you bestow it to the next generation.
I'm
That's
thinking
how
of the
parents-
same thing
Here's
I
what
tell
to
my
do.
son. I tell my
Yeah.
son every day, I said, the day will become what you say it's going to become.
Sure.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. If you say it's going to be a great day, may not be a great day, but it'll be a better day than it would have been.
Throw it out and into the universe, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
Something I talked about in an extra point a while back here on 12 News was you just never really know the cross that somebody else is carrying. I think we have a...
Huge.
And this is an instinctual thing, right? This is a part of survival of the fittest, is you look after number one. You look after you and
Right.
yours, right? And so your problems feel paramount. They feel so much more important than the problems that other people face. But even if you're having the worst day imaginable, I mean, if you watch the news in the morning, you see how
there's-
awful life can be sometimes. The cruel hand of fate
Oh, my
taking children
gosh.
away, or you're talking about famine and disease and
Hit and
destruction.
runs,
My problems are so minuscule in comparison to those real life crises, and it's important to give yourself some perspective sometimes.
That's interesting that you brought that up, because just last Friday when we were in the ethics meeting, that's what they were saying, that, we come into our work and maybe it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but every day that we come into work, we are without a doubt 100% covering someone's day who is far worse than ours. And so we have to keep that in mind when we're trying to speak. Thank you. When we're trying to speak with, a mother who's lost a child or who's been through some sort of traumatic event, whoever it is. And so it's like we need to be ultra sensitive to that because we don't know the cross they're bearing, like you said.
Yeah. Can I get deep here?
Yes.
That you have to understand that the miracle is like, I used to tell my son that the miracle's right here. We can hear, we can talk, we can converse. You could say, hey, I'm done. I'm walking back to Michigan. You could walk, you could hitchhike. How many people wouldn't give to be able to walk
Right.
to this, much less go across the country, or to be able to hear or to see you or to taste food or, or go to the bathroom, whatever it is.
Sure.
That's a miracle. I think people miss that. I try to tell my son, that a good glass of wine, a great conversation. This is what we're doing. Talking to some great people like you.
Yes.
That's it. Instead, people look too far ahead. If only I could get that big job promotion. If only
Yeah.
I could win the lottery, or I could have
happy when I
that
have
beautiful
kids.
Porsche. Then I would be happy. Or meet the man of my life or woman
Sure.
of my dreams. No,
Be happy
these
now.
are the good old
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
We're going to be talking about this day in 30 years, saying, I remember we used to, those were the days.
Sit around the fake plants and talk about how good things
I
are.
kept my doors open. They're going to recycle that again, too. Well, back in 2019, I'd sleep with my door wide open, my bedroom window. People walk by and take care of me.
You're right, though. It's great conversation. Everly says, don't worry about things you can't control.
Right.
That's a great one because why get why get your clean panties in a twist if, you can't control something,
I'm big on that too, and that's a life lesson I learned after my dad passed away. In case you don't know, he passed away from non-smokers lung cancer 7 years ago. But I used to stress over little things, and everything was a big deal, and that's just because the way I was around my family, and everything was a big deal. But after that, I learned not to sweat the small things. It's like, okay, is it really that important to get mad at? Is it really that important to ruin your day? And then I've kind of tried to teach that to my cousins and stuff that are worrying about little things that is not huge at all. And I'm like, okay, it could be way worse. So let's just, focus on the bigger picture and let go of the little things and not stress. Because why, go through the day being stressful and angry and sad?
everything.
I don't mean to butcher this, but what is it, the rule of 7? Will this matter in 7 minutes? Will this matter in 7 hours, 7 days, 7
that's
months, 7
interesting.
years? Like, how important are your problems, right? The only
Right.
ones that are really significant are the ones that have long-term significant impacts.
Yeah,
you
big
could stomach anything for 7 seconds or 7 minutes or 7 hours. I could do anything for a week. Now, is it a problem that's going to cause issues for 7 months? That might be more serious. 7 years? I mean, you're right. Don't sweat the small stuff. Nalda, with some other sage advice that I'm sure was in that Stork parenting book, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Right.
I like that. That also applies to the comment section.
That's big for social media. Like, we need to follow that on social media.
Social media
these
wouldn't
days.
exist.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of
You know?
You know,
things.
Betty coming in, never go to bed angry at someone you
I like
love.
that one.
That's so great. That's stitched on pillows. That's how important
Yeah.
that is. Always
Respect your
keep it
elders,
nice.
says Michael.
Everything happens for a reason, even if you can't see the reason as soon as something happens, from Teresa.
Here's a good one from Ann. Everyone is entitled to a mistake. That's why there's an eraser at the end of the pencil. I think forgiveness is an important thing to remember, too. Not just that everyone is fallible and makes mistakes, but that you have to be willing to accept that other people make mistakes, too. Those are two very separate entities.
Gee, I wish I could put some white out on some of my past experiences.
Yeah, I think that's true for all of us.
Tried the eraser. And,
You know, as
But that
long as
made
you
you
kind
who
of
you
get
are
some
today.
sort of takeaway.
yeah. I'm very hard on myself. I don't buy
Yeah.
that. I can't stand it when people say that.
Really?
Yeah, you'll ask a girl like, oh, you know, to ask her about her past, and she'll back in the day, and she'll, well, I did this and this and this, and that's who I am today. I'm like, really? I'm out of here.
Well, you learn from
I'm not
each
dealing with
situation. Well, hopefully they learned from it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is true to
Yeah.
a 99%, but sometimes people don't need to hear it.
And thank you, Russell, for your comment, by the way.
Pam says, I appreciate the fact that our parents allowed us to make decisions. They would tell us they didn't agree. So that's interesting. My parents always told us, hey, you guys can make your own decisions until you make the wrong ones, and then we'll make them for you. So use your best judgment. And that was a great rule of thumb to live by, because it helped teach us responsibility and right from wrong, and then helped them teach us the lesson when they were like, whoa, 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 okay, you're overstepping, here's why. And then you got an explanation versus, like, I know we've talked before, the paddling and the cold showers that would ensue. But it's like, you know, parents, they have to be the bad guys sometimes when it comes to raising your kids right, so that they become good, you know, adults.
My parents did something really psychologically that my brothers and sisters talk about now. We were either, they were very proud of us, or we weren't good enough. And they'd pull that throttle. And it was, sometimes that wasn't good enough. It was kind of cruel. But it highly prepared me for this world and this career, because this is television. Everyone tells you how proud they are of you, and then the next minute, next day, you're not good enough.
Hey,
And
Ray,
so
hold
you
on.
got, you know,
Could you just step off the rug before we...
my dad, when I got in this business, used to tell me, he says, oh, you get all these great comments. He says, you can believe me, you think you're that great, right? So that's fine. He says, you believe all those 100% great comments, then you got to believe 100% all
Of
the
the
crappy
bad.
comments. He says,
That's
you're never,
good.
he said, you're never as good as they say you are, and you're never as bad as they say you are. You need to figure it out on that realm, but don't
I
be
like
buying
that
into all that
too.
stuff. Because I work in this bit, all the young people, oh, look, I said I'm so beautiful.
I'm so great.
Oh,
Yeah.
They love, I'm their favorite weather person. Yeah, they're saying that to every other
When
Yeah,
they see
we're
the next
all-
weather
yeah,
person.
and
They're
I've
like,
seen
"You're
that
my
happen at a
favorite."
party. It doesn't. You just gotta like. Your compass has to be in there. It
Yeah.
can't be out there.
No.
I
that.
like Deanna's comment. She said, make your bed every morning. That's what her parents
Oh,
taught
yeah.
her.
No, that's good. That is a good one, because you always come home to the fresh-made bed, and no matter how bad your day was, you can at least
Like,
walk into your bedroom and
my
take a little
room's
solace,
clean.
and then you can slide
Yep.
into the sheets.
Yeah.
There's a few more of these we've got to get to, but we've got some other segments in the show, too, including ICYMI. In case you missed Today in AZ this morning, we had a pretty serious show, but we did pockmark it with a little fun, especially this moment after the juicy question.
Now it's time to reveal the answer to our juicy question of the morning. 79% of single Americans think it's okay to use this on your first date. So we received lots of text message, people saying their cell phone. Ooh, a gift card. That's from Mary and
What
Greg
about a
in
whoopee
Phoenix.
cushion?
What? A credit card, Uber or Lyft.
Yeah, I
That's from
thought maybe a
Samantha.
designated driver.
A white lie to leave. Okay. On our first date, use breath mints.
I would hope that's okay.
Please.
GPS?
Your own car for transportation and safety. Coupons. 79%?
That's a little high.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know anyone. I knew one person that used a coupon.
you don't even know if you're going to enjoy the date, so you might as well get it at a discount.
Yeah, I'm kind of with the coupon people here, because
Really?
how many times are you going to get asked your credit score on a date, and that's okay, but it's not okay for me to make a smart economical
Here,
decision?
let's bump up this credit score right now.
Yeah.
We'd like to use this
Hey.
coupon,
Hey,
BOGO.
hey, I got a secret. This is half off. Does that not get you going? No? Nobody?
I love a deal.
I got a coupon for some free tots.
Or how about you
And
just
they're
give
all
it to your server prior to the date? Be like, hey, I have this coupon.
Yeah, like run to the
wraps. Yeah, and then
Why does he keep going to the bathroom? It's weird.
Can't win.
I got a bladder problem.
I think that's the best way to go. Like, you don't want to put it out there on the date. Like, hey, I have this coupon in front of your date. Like, just give it to your server sometime
Be
during the
discreet,
date.
pretend
Yeah.
Yeah, then the server
birthday.
comes back. Excuse me, Mr. Quinones, your coupon's expired.
Then he's just
so
trying
is
to be
this date.
cruel. He's trying to ruin your date.
I'm one that I think that you should try to remove pretense, especially on a first date, because if you don't kind of bare your soul a little bit and let that person know who you are and what they're getting into, then you're just going to end up wasting your time.
You're a
Yeah,
millennial.
Okay,
I
but
like
if
that.
that's the case,
Because
don't
we
take
studied
it to a
yesterday.
fancy
Millennials
place.
lay it out there.
Yeah.
Do it.
But why not? Especially in a
You're
world where
right.
dating is a
Don't
commodity,
lie.
right? Where like people are one swipe away from being somebody else. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like as much as I like Vanessa, Rachel is just to the left. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And
yeah.
like, so
Say it.
if you're gonna do that and you're gonna use people as a commodity to try to find Mr. or Mrs. Right
Right.
in this wide world. Then you have to be yourself when you're actually on a date. Because if you're just going to load up with pretense and try to get in someone's pants, all it's going to do is cause heartache down the road because you're going to end up thumbing through a
Thank
million of
you.
those people and wasting everyone's time.
I consciously have tried to like be a different, not a liar. I haven't tried to fabricate anything, but tried to like just be like more sweet instead of sour or rough around the edges, as my brothers claim that I am. And you just can't. You can't fake it. Like the real you will come out just as it does in the shows, as it does in the after shows, it does in the real world, in your personal life. Like you can't fake it
You know
long
the old
enough
school,
to make it work.
The old school rules: don't talk religion, don't talk
Right,
politics. I'm like,
right.
what? So lie?
Yeah, and
Do
so
it.
eventually, so when they're like,
How do
"Hey,
you
you want to get
feel?
married in my church?" You're like,
I voted
no.
for the purple party. Who did you vote for?
Right, like what?
Oh, you voted for that party. Well,
And-
this is the, if you're not, we can lie down the road.
And if you like somebody enough, what's the difference?
Let's
You
fall in
don't
love.
go vote together. How about that?
Let's fall in love and then found out we both
Like
we all
a
lied to each
respected
other. Or we held important things off. I didn't know
I don't
you-
think you have to agree on all those
didn't know
things
you
to
were
have a good
Buddhist.
relationship, you know?
I'm
Okay,
Hindu.
but so I don't, like I'm saying, it's okay to use a coupon, fine, but like I just don't think you need to put. I am
she's
back
backing
on the
up, 'cause you're
because
done,
that was
guys.
our
Does
original
this happen
thing.
to you?
No, I
Don't lie
had
to
a
me.
gift certificate.
Oh, that's just as bad.
A gift certificate.
How'd that work out? You sent him packing, didn't you?
Now, where's he
Yeah,
now?
thank you.
I mean, of course he didn't make it now, but like, no, but I was a little thrown off when he did do that. I was like, oh, okay, like in front,
Yeah.
you know, I was like, maybe our third date. You're
That's
like, yeah, I got this
crushing.
So
thing for
wait,
you.
where
Thrown
did you go on the date where coupon was warranted?
Where did I go on the date?
Where were they?
Damn.
Applebee's?
No.
Ooh,
and
those are
okay,
good
wait, that's
coupons.
another thing though. And don't
brought
take
his-
your date to a fancy place if you can't afford it.
Well, that's true too. Guys shouldn't overstep to try to be impressive.
Yeah.
Just be cool. Take them somewhere you can afford.
Do you know what I used to do back in the day? I loved it. Slumming.
What?
Slumming.
There's nothing
When I
wrong
was
with
in
going
San
to get
Diego,
coffee.
I took him to the dumpiest place to see. You want, because everybody wants. They're the TV guy.
Right.
You're going to go to the big fancy steakhouse. I'm like, nope, I'm going to this. And then the
show.
girls that were.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah,
For
fine.
everywhere.
This show turns into a dating advice program about once a week now.
It is. It's good.
Well, the thing is, just go out for a drink where you don't need to use a coupon or anything.
Hey, Paul, you got any more of that special coffee?
Yeah, right.
It's good. We're out.
Let's get to some more of your parental advice since that was the talking topic. If
Hello.
you're just joining the Today and
A lot of
Patty.
parental advice has to do with dating. My dad says you'll
that's
only
true.
marry who you date, so be careful.
You know what I like? How we go off on this crazy tangent and they stay on topic.
Yeah. These people are
These
good at
poor
reining it in.
people are.
Yeah, we are.
Deanna saying the
We're
punishment
winning.
for a lie is far worse than the truth. You can apply that to your dating metric the same way.
My
Do
friend-
not lie. That is the worst thing you can do to someone.
My friend's dad used to say, you gotta crack a few eggs and make an omelet.
Yep.
I always say that. And it's true.
Is that where chick came in for the term of females?
Oh, this is a good
Crack
one
an
from
egg.
Lori. It says, stay on your toes, keep your eyes peeled, and your nose clean. My mom always tells me before I leave or before I go somewhere, watch your back and be careful. Watch your back and be careful.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do have to watch your back.
Jennifer says, my mom always told me to go with my gut.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heeded the advice of my gut, honestly.
I think another
always do
good
like
piece of
mine
advice
over
is
mine.
not sending good money in after bad. You kind of have to understand when to cut your losses, whether it's in relationships or in a real financial situation.
That's tough. That's the
Shake
toughest
shake
thing.
hands like a man from Bill and Gold Canyon. No
that's
dead
good
fish.
advice.
Jimmy, can we act something out here?
Yeah.
The worst thing in the world is,
you're
okay,
gonna
so they
say.
say to look at the elbow, right? When you go in, so you make a good firm handshake like that, right? The worst thing is when somebody's attention is elsewhere and they come in limp, like on the side like this, and then you try to give them the full hand.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come in limp.
And then
Try to
you're
give me a
just
firm
squeezing.
handshake. You can't. You're going to end up getting that, and it ruins the
That's
whole
creepy,
first
dudes.
interaction.
Do a man handshake. I'll put that out there. Don't ever soft it up
true.
on that.
You know what's even worse?
What?
This.
Ew! Don't do that.
When you shake hands with someone like that.
I have
Who
literally
does that?
I have
Pleasure
never-
to meet
Who
you.
does that?
That was code for something back in the day.
If you're talking about dating, if one guy did that to me and I never spoke to him again, it was no. It was the most vile.
weird.
I mean, he could have tried to put the moves on me and I would have been less offended than when he did that.
The little wrist scratch.
It-
Or-
it is- that
Do
is
that to her
vile.
ball.
Or
Yeah,
on
she
the
did.
opposite end, the guy that tries to break the girl's hand to show how
Yeah,
strong he
yeah.
is too. Don't be an idiot
Yeah,
there
we're all
on that
really
one.
impressed.
Can I
know
ask
what?
the women watching a quick question? Do you prefer men shake your hand like the same way they'd shake another man's hand?
No.
Right?
Yes.
Because when I shake a woman's hand, here, I'm not
What
going to
do
do
you do?
anything weird. I usually go like a
No,
little bit
no.
more.
This is
This is
like
how you
a-
do it. This is
You
how
have
Yeah,
a firm
you want
hand?
Yeah, I do the one
like
pump.
this.
Okay.
But I
Nice to
lock
meet
it.
you.
You know
I'm
what I
Rachel
do?
Cole.
Firm, but I lock. I don't squeeze down.
I kind of
lock.
turn my hand with a woman a little bit, like the Mademoiselle,
That's
like
fine.
that kind
Okay,
of
that's
thing.
like that's
But
fair
still
enough.
has to be firm.
Gentlemanly, yeah. I want a firm handshake because same thing. Like, I don't think these dads aren't telling their young
Cold,
daughters how
clammy,
to-
and soft hands.
I mean,
That's great, guys.
all the bosses I've had,
No wonder you're still single.
firm handshake.
Michael says, don't eat bar snacks.
Wait,
Great advice.
That's what's his name? Ben Pfeffer. Eating the bar peanuts. Long came Polly.
You only have one mom and dad. Treat them with respect.
No one's even listening to our dating
No.
advice. They just
Lori Dawn, never play leapfrog with a unicorn.
with a unicorn. Pink.
Firm handshake.
Ah, she got it. Okay, no, there we go. Yeah, ouch.
Oh, very painful.
Too low from too far away.
This is a good one from Kathy. Whenever I'd be driving anywhere, my dad would say, keep the painted side up, kid. So
Oh, the
far, so
painted
good.
side.
Darren said, never be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, that's a good one
That's
too.
a good one.
Ask questions.
Motley says, don't go to jail because we're not bailing you out. Says she's still
good
never
one.
been at age 46. Hopefully we can keep that streak alive, Motley.
Hey, we all
Don't
end
eat
up in
the
the
yellow
clinker
snow.
every now and then. Trust me.
Don't do anything that you wouldn't want
That's
to
another
see on
story
the
for
evening.
another day.
yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, you guys are funny.
Dave, I invented a new game called Quiet Tennis. It's like tennis without the racket. Well done. All right, we got to get going,
Happy
guys.
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Thanks for
indeed.
joining us. We'll do it all again tomorrow.
7:30 sharp. We'll see you there. Or 7:31.
We'll go off topic again tomorrow.
Late.
Yeah,
What
we'll
dating
go way
advice
on
are we going to have
top.
tomorrow?
Back to dating. What kind of relationship advice you want to talk
What you should do
about?
on the last date.
This is great, though. You're married, you're dating, you're a single guy, I'm a single girl. See, we have everything covered.
I got a kid.
Yeah, you got a kid?
So tomorrow's question is, what's your favorite skateboard? And then all we'll talk about is, hey, what was your first date like? Well, that's awesome.
Did you ever go skateboarding on
And
your first
everyone's
date?
gonna be like, oh, I had a blue skateboard. Ralph from Buckeye.
Hey, just go for a drink on your first date.
Yeah, go out for coffee.
drink,
Not
that's it.
Starbucks.
Don't bring coupons to the first date. Crying out loud.